What's going on, guys and gals? Some of you may know me as the Vaping Demon from Vapers TV. To everybody else, I'm just plain old Daniel Hall, a writer from guide-to-vaping.com. Today I'm going to take a few minutes just to tell you why it is that I vape, why I write about vaping, why vaping is my life, and why vaping saved my life. I'm 36 years old right now, so let's go back in time to when I was 13. Long time ago. Right, that's when I started smoking. Obviously, at the beginning it was just, stealing a few here and a couple there. Mainly off my mum, my grandma, my dad, because everybody around me smoked. So, I figured, it's the normal thing to do. I carried on that habit for 20 years. Actually, 21 years. Fast forward in time a little bit, I've been in the army, been halfway around the world. Got bored one day in England, decided I was going to move to the States. That was 8 years ago now. August 2012, I get an email from my dad telling me that my mum's in hospital. It was kind of a shitty time because November 23rd, 2012, she died. And it was catastrophic cancer everywhere. They had no idea that it was even there. From diagnosis to death was less than 3 months. Didn't get to go home to bury my mother. Really sucked. I kind of decided right then and there that cigarettes had to go. As far as I was concerned, that is exactly what killed her. I tried for the next few months with patches, gum, everything except drugs. Nothing worked to get me off the cigarettes. I was still smoking 2 packs a day. And then one day, one of my friends showed me his little ego, his little tank. And he told me that he quit smoking 3 weeks before. My girlfriend, my roommate and I all decided we were going to try vaping. And we were going to do it together and we were going to quit together. I think that was actually one of the main reasons we all succeeded, because we did it together. So we went to the local vape shop, which at the time there was only one. And the guy behind the counter sold us a starter kit with a couple of Clearos, some 24mg juice, and sent us on our merry way. Now, for the next month and a half, maybe 2 months, I was dual using. And I got down to that one last cigarette in the morning. My old lady was the same way. We couldn't put down the last one. Till one day we pretty much sat there, actually she sat there and turned around to me and said, whatever cigarettes we got left, it's the last ones we ever buy. And the following morning, I looked at the cigarettes that were still in the pack. She looked at me, and we threw the pack in the trash. And that was it. That was the last cigarettes we ever smoked. And that was in April of 2014. So, it was a fair time ago. Sorry, I've got to hit this thing. Obviously, as with a lot of people, vaping became more than a way to replace the cigarettes. It became a hobby. As with a lot of vapors, it becomes a lifestyle. You start finding vape shops everywhere. It's like, oh, new juice, let's go try it. Yeah, I'm bad for that. Oh, new mod, let's go and see what that's all about. For me personally, it was getting into cloud chasing. It's like, let's see how big I can blow clouds. So for a while there, I had my little Copper Pegasus. I got into the cloud building. Super low. See how big I can blow. It was fun. It still is fun. But it kept me interested and it kept me occupied, which I know for a lot of vapors is what the pull is for the whole thing. It's that whole keeping you engaged. That way you don't spend any time thinking about what you've given up. You spend more time thinking about what you're going to do next. What's the next juice flavour going to be? What's my next bill going to be? When am I going to see my friends and beat their asses by blowing clouds? It's all fun. A few months ago, one of my friends sent me an email. This one was a good one. It's like, I just saw a thing online. Some guy's looking for a writer. And, that's what I do. I write. I enjoy writing. I love writing. And I love vaping, which is weird. So I got in touch with this guy. And cool dude, name of Blake Brown. He owns a couple of websites. A couple of decent websites, actually. And after a brief discussion, he's like, I want you to come and write for me at Guide to E-Cigs and Guide to Vaping, because I had this epiphany. It worked so well for me, I had to see if I could help other people. For me personally, I would like to see everybody get away from the sickness that is combustible tobacco, because that's what it is. It's a sickness and it's a disease. It sucks you in and it holds you in. And I was given a platform to be able to do that from, which was freaking amazing. It's like, I can sit down every day in front of my keyboard right here, and I can tell people about the latest mods. I can tell people about the most amazing juice I've ever had. I can tell people how to get involved in the community to help everybody else. It was a win-win, and I was getting paid for it. I was like, hell yeah. So it started off with guidetoecigs.com, and it quickly evolved into guidetovaping.com, which has a lot of followers and it has a lot of readers. So I am reaching out and touching people's lives every day, and that actually feels really good. When you can actually do that and know that you're doing that, it gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. After a short while, I'm English in America, and people pay attention to me for some reason. I don't know why. Especially when I speak. I'm out in the middle of Walmart and I open my mouth and everybody stops dead and turns around and looks for it. And then I realise they're looking for me. So I was conned into getting into broadcasting. I wasn't conned, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So broadcasting is a hell of a lot of fun. Rather than sitting behind the keyboard and typing, I actually get to talk to people. I get to talk at people. And I get to get the instant gratification of people in a chat window telling me that they're paying attention to what I'm saying. So I get to take what I've written and actually tell people about it at the same time. And it helps me feel like I'm doing my job as a vapor. So that whole my job as a vapor thing, what actually is that? It's getting in touch with people who are still smoking, who may have been misinformed about vaping. They may have been paying attention to everything that's been put out over the last couple of years about how bad vaping is for you. The fact that it's worse than cigarettes, which I know because I've done the research, is bullshit. And unfortunately, there is a lot of bullshit out there. And I feel that my job as a vapor, as a responsible vapor, is to help people understand what it is that we do, why it is that we do it, and why it's important for us to be able to pass our knowledge along. My job, excuse me, I've been sick here for the last week. My job as a vapor, as far as I'm concerned, is to stop other people becoming my mother. If vaping had been around 20 years ago, maybe she'd still be here. Sorry, I got a little bit emotional there. My ethos in life now is every cigarette that a person doesn't smoke is a win for that person. Period. It doesn't matter if someone's dual using, smoking and vaping. If they can go from a 2-pack a day habit down to a 1-pack a day habit, that's a win. If they can go from a 2-pack a day habit down to 0, That's an epic victory. And that's the kind of thing that, I'm aiming for. That we should be aiming for. Rather than sitting there and trying to figure out in government houses how we can replace the money that is going to be lost by people quitting smoking, we should be focusing more on how much money is not going to be spent on healthcare because the diseases that smoking causes are gone. That's just my thoughts on that, though. I hope you guys have enjoyed getting inside my head a little bit. I normally wouldn't do this kind of thing. I'd normally just sit on camera and be a complete idiot. But I thought for today, it's about time to put this out there. Now, here it is, guys and gals. I'm Daniel Hall, otherwise known as the Vaping Demon. Catch me on Vapers TV. Catch me on Guide to Vaping. Until the next time, peace.